Hi there, these comments are for 1068, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL iBT. And I'm reading your integrated writing practice test right now. I'm going to go ahead and read it, score it, give you some general comments on it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so in the first paragraph, I would recommend, if you look at the actual reading passage here, you're focusing on certain ideas here, but you didn't really explain the thesis. The thesis, it's really these 3 points here. They cause obesity, create an unhealthy society, and promote gluttony. That is the key. So my recommendation here, instead of including these specifics here, I would be more specific in the thesis. So the reading passage, you might want to say 3 dangers of fast food restaurants in the United States. Obesity, unhealthy society, and gluttony. Then you can say, you might say cast doubt on each of these points. So my recommendation here is, if you're going to be specific in the first paragraph, be specific as you explain the thesis from the reading passage. So the reading passage explains 3 dangers of fast food restaurants in the United States. Obesity. You can say here, an unhealthy society, and gluttony. The listening passage casts doubt on each of these points. So if you say secondly, then you want to say firstly, I want to say cause obesity. And what you didn't say here that you need to say, we need to understand who is saying what here. You can say, according to the reading passage, because children and adults go we'll say eat at these establishments every day Okay, so let's go to the reading passage here. Okay, I think you're getting most of the important points here. You have many children and adults consume fast food on a daily basis. You've said that. Hamburgers, tacos, and chicken are prepared with hundreds of calories and large amounts of fat. Busy schedules and harsh times contribute to the consumption of fast food. I want to say, moreover, the consumption of fatty foods such as chicken, hamburgers, and tacos occurs, the author asserts, as a result of busy schedules and, we'll say, difficult economic times. So what you're not doing here, and what I did, is I'm putting in some of these voice markers here. I put another one here so we know who is saying this information. This is information coming from the reading passage, right? You say, but the listening passage said that fast food restaurants have many healthy food options, like apples for kids and many options for salads. But is that what it says in the lecture? What we're doing here, we're trying to find that first point in the lecture. No, you're moving on to the second point here. You need to look at what the first point in the lecture is. It says we do have fast food chains like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Kentucky Fried Chicken. It says if you're not active and sit down in front of a TV or play video games, you will gain weight. Obesity is caused by an inactive lifestyle along with consuming more calories than are needed. This is what you need to say, I think, in that paragraph here. So you've really gotten mixed up. You're getting mixed up on where the information is coming from. Then you might say here, however, the listening passage argues that, you might put since many children and adults spend a lot of time, you might say, watching TV and playing video games, fast food restaurants cannot only be blamed for causing obesity. In fact, the speaker argues that the sedentary lifestyle of Americans, along with, you might want to say, eating more calories than are needed in a day, contributes to the obesity epidemic in the United States. This is what you need to say here that you did not say. What were you doing here? You're trying to find the information in the lecture that disagrees with these points. And that's exactly what we did here. So if you go back to the lecture and you see here, the lecture says, let's discuss the causes of obesity before we blame it on fast food chains. If you're not active and sit down in front of a TV or play video games, you will gain weight. Obesity is caused by an inactive lifestyle along with consuming more calories than are needed in a day. That is the counterpoint to the first point in the reading passage. Okay, here you have a verb here, but you have no subject, so I'm going to give you a subject here. So we'll say fast food creates an unhealthy society. According to the reading passage. If you said this, thereby plaguing thereby causing, let's just say here, high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart disease. Now, let's take a look at what the reading passage actually says here. Is make sure we're not leaving out any information here, right? This is a key. So you are saying this, but look at all you said really was the topic sentence. You did not explain any of the details, I think, from the reading passage. So I think also you need to talk about the limited options, the limited healthy options of fast food in the United States. I think that is something that needs to be mentioned, I think, because that seems to be a pretty important point. Let's say the healthy options that are limited. I think that's going to be important. I think we have it, right? So we're saying that except for countries like China and Mexico, fast food options, or the healthy options for fast food, are limited, right? So fast food creates an unhealthy society, according to the reading passage, thereby causing high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart disease. Furthermore, except in countries such as China and Mexico, the healthy options of fast food chains are limited. You might say consumers are not able to choose vegetables and fruit. Now we got to go to the listening passage, right? So again, in contrast. All right, let's see if what you have works. However, the listening passage said you control the calories because some of the fast food restaurants have menus. Yeah, but you're not getting this idea here. The idea is that the reading is saying there's limited options for fast food chains. The lecture is saying that there are more options for healthy food, right? How do we know that? If you go to the lecture, it says here, the concept of healthy is a continued concept that is argued with each year or decade. What is healthy today may be considered unhealthy tomorrow. What is more important is a healthy lifestyle with a healthy diet. Fast food chains do serve mostly fat and cholesterol-driven foods, but we now have created options like apples or fruit for kids and more salad options. Also, in states like California and New York, the calorie count of each menu item must be on the menu so the consumer is more informed. So you have some of that. You're trying to say that here, but you're just leaving out too much information. You're saying it here. So you say in contrast, you must say although you have to say this: healthier alternatives such as fruit. And let's look at, did it mention vegetables? Let me look. So it's talked, you can probably imply that it does have that, but at least it does say fruit and then more salad options. So then we will say that for sure. Fruit and salad options for its patrons. That in some states, such as California and New York, are required to list the number of calories for each menu on the item. You can say so that consumers can make healthier choices with their food intake, you might say. So part of what you want to do is you're not really developing your ideas enough. The way that you're explaining the ideas, it doesn't really show me that you have a good understanding of the main points from the reading passage and then the main points from the lecture. You're not really showing how these things are connected. Okay, let's move on. So you say in the reading passage you have promote. That doesn't work because you have here, this is a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrases cannot be used as subjects. They just can't. You can't do that. You have to have a subject as a subject. Okay, so let me show you what you can do here. So in the reading passage, the author claims that fast food restaurants promote gluttony so here then maybe say, you might say, to illustrate, customers in the past received one soda or drink. You might say at one sitting. That means one time at the restaurant. But now customers have unlimited free refills in large cups. Now let's go to the reading passage here. Let's make sure we got everything. So you're saying that this encourages, I think this is important, Well, maybe we've already said that, so maybe we don't have to worry about that. You have, in the listening passage, said the customaries, you're changing things to words that are the wrong word. That's not going to help you writing at all, so you want to make sure you're using spell check very carefully. Customers become not gluttony simply by not eating and drinking large amounts from fast food every day. But in the listening passage, again, you have but in the listening passage, again, you're trying to use a prepositional phrase as a subject. You can't do it. So let me give you a subject. The speaker says that fast food chains, you might want to say, do not necessarily promote gluttony. Consumers, for example, should control even limit how much food and drink they consume. And you might say, therefore, if we go back to the lecture just to make sure we have it, so let's look at the third point here. So it's saying that they don't necessarily promote gluttony. I like how you didn't really talk about the cigarettes and the drinking thing. That doesn't really, I don't think that's that important to focus on. You say one can overcome gluttony simply by not eating and drinking large amounts from fast food chains every day. We can still enjoy burger, fries, and milkshake, but we don't have to consume them in such large amounts. I think we have it. Okay, so this gives you an idea, and what I'm doing is I'm taking. Okay, so let's read it one more time. So as you can see, I actually had to make a lot of changes. In many cases, you weren't exactly explaining what the relationship is between the main points in the reading passage, and you didn't really combine them effectively with the main points in the reading passage. But this, how you have it here, exactly does that, right? So let's read it one more time. You may want to read it out loud with me. The reading passage explains 3 dangers of fast food restaurants in the United States: obesity, an unhealthy society, and gluttony. The listening passage casts doubt on each of these points. Firstly, fast food restaurants cause obesity according to the reading passage because children and adults eat at these establishments every day. Moreover, the consumption of fatty foods such as chicken, hamburgers, and tacos occurs, the author asserts, as a result of busy schedules and difficult economic times. However, the listening passage argues that since many children and adults spend a lot of time watching TV and playing video games, fast food restaurants can not only be blamed for causing obesity. Yeah, we need to fix this. How about this? We can say, indeed, the speaker argues that the sedentary lifestyle of Americans along with eating more calories than are needed in a day, let's put a comma here, contributes to the obesity epidemic in the United States. Secondly, fast food creates an unhealthy society, according to the reading passage, thereby causing high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart disease. Furthermore, except in countries such as China and Mexico, the healthy options at fast food chains are limited. In other words, consumers are able to choose vegetables and fruit in the menu at many fast food chains. You want to say here, I'm going to say almost didn't get this, are not able to choose vegetables and fruit in the menu at many fast food chains. In contrast, according to the speaker, although fast food chains serve a lot of fatty and high cholesterol foods, these chains now offer healthier alternatives such as fruit and salad options for its patrons. Patrons is another word for customers. In addition, the lecture points out that in some states, such as California and New York, fast food restaurants are required to list the number of calories for each menu on the item so that consumers can make healthier choices with, maybe here, with their food intake. Finally, in the reading passage, the author claims that fast food restaurants promote gluttony. To illustrate, customers in the past received one soda or drink at one sitting, but now customers have unlimited refills in large cups. But in the listening passage, the speaker says that fast food chains do not necessarily promote gluttony. Consumers, for example, should control and even limit how much food and drink they consume. Therefore, the speaker argues that consumers can still eat at fast food chains, but that they should not consume these fatty foods and sweetened drinks in such large amounts. All right, so now the question is, what we have here, I think here it says, even though your response contains some relevant information from the lecture, you have significant difficulties with language or you've left out important ideas from the lecture. Also, you have not demonstrated an understanding of how the information in the lecture is connected to the information in the reading passage. So I think this describes, your writing right now, unfortunately. So what can you do? I think with you it's not just a writing thing, it's a language issue area. So I think that your strategy right now for the next month or so, focus in my online course. I'd like you to focus in the vocabulary and also the pronunciation. I know that this had nothing to do with pronunciation, but I think if you improve your speaking and your pronunciation, and you go through those pronunciation lessons, you'll improve what's called your sound, spelling, pattern, coordination. You'll be able to use more words, I think, in both speaking and writing. So I think focus on the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar parts of my course. I think that's where you will get the most benefit for your writing right now. Once you've done that, then you can work on organizing the writing and all that. Now, probably, based on your score, I'm going to put you at 2.0 out of 5, or 14 points out of 30 on this practice test. Now, if you go to the syllabus, okay, let's go to page 9. Here we go. So for writing, I put you at 2.0, so 64% out of 100. So your writing, it's just not very strong right now. To just give you an idea. If I looked at what you wrote, and I would really not have a good understanding, I think, of the reading passage in the lecture. I would not truly, I think, understand what was said in either passage. So you have to have a little bit more complete summary, and that's what you see here. So you see how I've changed what you wrote, and I developed it more. And here we have close to, what do we have here? We got 373 words right here. All right, and that's it. Anyway, thank you very much for completing the practice test. I've enjoyed having you as a student. in our program, and keep up the good work.